I like to believe that we're here for one common reason: to get better in public speaking, or in leaders, or that touch of quantum physics. You see, these ingredients is what we need to carry everywhere we go. These are the fundamental ingredients to build a rocket ship, and the power of influencing others by presenting and being a true leader. I think about those ingredients from that scene, and I probably don't quite remember. That kid goes to the front of the store and goes to that machine, that rocket machine, and grabs a quarter, maybe 4 quarters now, grabs a quarter and puts it in there, and gets in the machine and the rocket, and it rattles a little bit, and it doesn't move. And then he kicks it a little bit, and he grabs his toy and puts it in there, because he's thinking he's gonna launch into space. But then something magical happens. He believes that he's gonna go into orbit and launch into space. So as he's sitting there, he's thinking and wondering, and he launches. He takes off. That's the power of these secret ingredients. Two secret ingredients. A couple weeks ago, I was at my son's school for career day. You know, one of those days where you just have parents, you have the firefighter comes with his helmet and looking like a superhero. And then you have a nurse coming with all their gear and equipment, looking like a superhero. And then you have the civil engineer with the PowerPoint presentation, not looking like a superhero. But you know what? Nothing speaks like a cool dad, like a deck of PowerPoint cards or slides. So my number one focus that day, that 15 minutes of career day, was make Andrew proud. Focus on Andrew and not have 27 second graders fall asleep in a collective nap. So went in there, talked about the stuff I do. As a civil engineer, roads, bridges, pipelines, some of the cool stuff. But you know what I figured? Kids don't pay attention to that kind of stuff unless Mario Kart is involved. I gave it all my energy. Big smiles, big gestures, and make asphalt sound magical. And as soon as I did that, a kid in the front row raises up his hand, says, "Mr. George." I look around. Mr. George, started looking around. He says, "Me?" I say, "Yeah, you." With this serious look, he said, "Do you design rocket ships?" You know, I did want to tell him that I designed rocket ships. I said, "Man, you know, I don't design rocket ships. I do some cool roads and bridges and pipelines, all the stuff that kind of gets you around the world, important stuff." He squints at me and looks at me like he's looking at a Carfax report, looking for a red flag or something, and says, "Nah, SpaceX cool, but still cool." I said, "Oh boy, shattered by a second grader." Later that afternoon, one of our neighborhood friends, Sean, you know that person that works at the school and gets everybody together talking during lunch and makes sure everybody is okay, texts me. I open up on my phone, It just started vibrating right now. It's kind of weird. And then he goes on to say, Jorge, are you a little tired from your presentation? I said, yeah, man. 15 minutes? I give it all. Big gestures, big smiles, trying to make asphalt sound magical. Then he goes on to say, well, kids were really proud of you, even Andrew. I say, yes, proud dad. But here it goes. Then he goes on to say, this is where he drops the bombshell. And he says, you got kids thinking that you design rocket ships. Somewhere between me talking about infrastructure and slide number 7, I became NASA scientist, a rocket ship builder. You see, we all have that power to become someone's rocket ship. Someone is always watching. Someone's always learning from you. Someone's being influenced by you and when you don't even know it. So Toastmasters, parents, friends, leaders, and speakers, we have the power to take not only kids, and I believe also adults. They don't hear what you say, they hear how you make them feel. That boy, somehow, between that slide and me talking infrastructure, I became his rocket ship builder. We have the power to send people into orbit. And these 2 ingredients, I gotta share them with you. One of them starts with a V. That's for voice. I have some salt in here. The other one, it's S for storytelling. I have some pepper in here. And I think those are key ingredients on everything we taste. V for voice. We spend so much time, and I did, on presenting ourselves. Our LinkedIn profile, our pictures, making everything perfect, our shoes. But we forget one thing that we carry everywhere. It's our voice. That voice has the influence to calm someone, to inspire, to make them believe. We just don't speak. We have an experience in someone's mind, someone's heart and feelings. The next one is storytelling. This is very important because storytelling is where people lean in, want to hear more. You know, I talked about my college years, how I felt a little lonely, and how a transformational moment, I call it a 5-second moment, where I didn't feel alone. I was at a party, my 45th birthday, and no longer did I feel alone. I belonged. I wanted to be there. They wanted me to be there. So it was that spark, that 5-second moment where I changed. A story can do that. A story can take someone's mind and you can feel the same thing that person feels. So let's take it back home. One school visit, one proud child, one confused classroom where they thought I was a rocket ship builder. Fellow Toastmasters, that matters because I was reminded that the little things matter. And sometimes we're throw them in the trash like it was nothing. I want to let you know, everybody's watching us. Everybody's learning from us. Everybody's being influenced by us. So when we walk out there, Let's be the rocket fuel in someone's mind. It doesn't have to be at second graders. Adults can have that experience where we launch them into orbit.